Everybody, we are going to get this thing started. Let me fire this thing up. Yep, so Kara told you guys that I am a little bit under the weather tonight, but hey, it's all good. It's all good. I had a little fever last night. My youngest had 103 and was throwing up all over us, and it was a great time. I'll tell you, it was a great time. But the show must go on, and we're here to give you some really useful information that you can apply into your business right here and right now. I'm assuming if you are watching this live or you're watching the replay that you're interested in flipping some flood houses. So I'll tell you that we are flipping a lot of flood houses right now. We are also just buying and holding a lot of flood houses. And there's a lot of money to be made in today's market. So I'm really excited about this webinar and this presentation. And I'm going to be popping some cough drops and clear my throat every now and then. But if you don't mind, there's going to be some really good information throughout this webinar, and also we have an upcoming live event coming up pretty soon as well. So we'll share some more information there. So I always like to introduce myself because people come on these training events and they don't know me, and so this is kind of what my establishing credibility slide a little bit, I like to say, is because there's a lot of gurus in this industry, in this business, in this coaching business, and I know a lot of guys. I know guys locally in my market, in Houston market, that teach a lot of real estate, but they don't do real estate. And there's a very simple reason for that, because it is much easier to teach than it is to do. So one of the things when I look for coaching and mentoring, or just someone to help me get to the next level in whatever particular area of life or business that I'm pursuing to get better at, I want to talk to someone who's actually doing it, someone who's actually created results. And this applies across the board. That's why, when I did my Ironman training, guess what I did? I hired a swim coach, or I hired a running coach, just to get better. When I did my crazy MMA stuff, like I hired a dude to teach me to fight MMA. Same thing, like I like to establish credibility. So who am I, for those of you who've never heard about me before? Well, I kind of title myself as just a regular dude who just had a dream and a desire for something better, right? So I was kind of living the rat race, so to speak, caught up in the corporate world, and just honestly really didn't like my job, and I wanted something better. But my wife and I were essentially broke, living in an apartment, and had no business experience. We had no money. We had just paid off our debt and things like that, and had good credit. So I essentially used a credit card to buy my first investment property. This is about 11 years ago, and I went on to buy about 11 more properties that year. And oh, did we hit record?
It's recorded.
Okay, just making sure. I've done that like so many times. So anyway, so I went on to buy 10 properties that year, and just became a real estate investor, and really just more so just I like to call myself a real estate entrepreneur, as much as just an investor, because through the years I've added some layers onto our business and what we do. We've got a construction division that specializes in investment property rehabs, and I just got numbers in today as mid-month of December. We did about 77 full complete rehabs this year, about $2.5 million in construction services. And so that's hasn't been an easy business to put together, but we've done it and done it pretty well. So I'm pretty proud of that. And I do some education, coaching events, live events. I'll introduce you to one later on tonight that you may be interested in coming to and working with me firsthand and seeing listen to me speak and teach and train for a few days. And we had the honor of having our company recognized as an Inc. 5000 company last year, and that was pretty cool. And so just through my success, or just hustling, whatever you want to call it, over the years, I've been asked to go speak on the news. I've wrote a few books, as you can see below, and that's just a little bit about me. And it's kind of who is Brant Phillips and why in the hell should I listen to you slide, you know, because I think that's important in today's day and age, in this, you know, in this guru world. There's so many guys that, I don't call guys out, but they're not really doing the business. And I'm going to actually show you in just a little bit of what we've done in the last 90 days. Oops, slide's not working. Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is the first book that I wrote was called How to Flip a House. And the subtitle of that book was 7 Fundamentals of a Highly Successful Deal Flip. And but these 7 lessons, they've grown. You see, I actually started out as a landlord investor. I owned 25 rental properties before I ever flipped a house. A lot of people don't know that. I just happen to enjoy flipping a lot more. It's a lot more exciting to me. There's more enjoyment from that than rental property. So I wasn't inspired to write a rental property book, so I wrote How to Flip a House. So I really enjoyed that. And so when I put that book together, I was you know, thinking of ways like, what is it that I do and what is it that I have done on my successful deals to create success, to create, you know, positive results. And so that's why I really broke it down to these 7 fundamentals, which apply to any really residential real estate business model with a few tweaks. Because when you look at the 7 fundamentals, like you start with your mindset, like really training your mindset to be very, very clear and very committed to what you want. I'll tell you why. I see so many people with a lack of vision and a lack of focus and a lack of clarity, and that is almost going to guarantee a lack of results. But when I have students that come to me, and I can tell like they are 100% committed. They're very clear and they're very specific on the goals that they want. Guess what? There's a really, really good chance that they're going to achieve those results, or very, very positive results. So that's how it all starts with me. I think that's the most important fundamental, quite frankly. But then you have to know how to do the stuff, how to do the work, and build a successful business. So, you know, the fundamentals are learning how to do marketing to create deal flow, how to evaluate deals, how to quickly evaluate deals, because you're going to go through a lot of deals to evaluate if you're doing a good job of marketing, creating deal flow, but also how to estimate repairs. And we've built proprietary software on this. My students have access to help people through that, but that is something that is critical. How to raise financing, how to finance your deals. We finance basically 100% of our deals with private money, but we utilize some bank loans and things like that, and also how to rehab. Like, rehab is so scary to some people, and for good reason, because you can get in a lot of trouble and create a lot of headaches if you don't have systems for rehabbing. So we've essentially created 5 phases of rehab to kind of break down that process to make sure it's done efficiently and effectively. And then the 7th fundamental is it's really generating income from that property. And I'll tell you, one of the most important things to create a successful, sustainable investing business is that you have multiple exit strategies. Because markets are always going to go up, markets are going to go down. Markets are going to always change. That's one of the things that always stays the same, is that the markets are always going to change. So we do several things. We do a lot of rental property. We're buying a ton of rental properties right now for the floods. We flip a lot of houses, we wholesale deals, and we do a lot of owner finance as well. So I love buying houses where I can have multiple exit strategies and multiple ways to make money and create wealth. So those are the fundamentals. You can see a little flow chart there that we created that kind of just shows how it starts with mindset. You go through the steps and you will create that income. So this is another slide that I wanted to share, and I teased this in the emails that Kara helped me send out, talking about how to make $1 million in a quick period of time, or 90 days, or whatever it was. And so, quite frankly, I'm not even going to lie. And so, quite frankly, I'm not even going to lie. I told her, I'm like, put that in there, and I hadn't really ran the numbers. But I know we've bought a ton of houses in the last 90 days. So technically, I'm going back to 9/1, so we're like a little over 90 days. But in the last 90 days, and I'm not showing this to try to impress anybody or brag or boast, but I want to impress upon you something very, very important, is that when you have the right skill sets and you have the fundamentals, whenever opportunities arise in the market, you can take advantage of them. So what's just happened in the flood market here in the Houston area here in 2017 is not that different from the end of 2008, 2009, 2010, whenever real estate was on sale. But I'll tell you what, I didn't have the same skill sets that I had 10 years ago that I do now, because every deal that you're looking at, and these are real deals, these are real addresses, these are real dates that we purchased and purchase price and cost repairs. No guru BS is going on here, okay? This is real stuff, and I don't know many gurus or people, speakers that share stuff like that. But I try to just be real and transparent so that you understand what is possible for you. And I know some of you, like, this is 24 houses we bought in the last 90 days or whatever it is, 24 deals that we've done. And we've done other deals that we already own and we sold and things like that. I just pulled from the last 90 days. But my point is this, is we're all starting from different places. You may just want to go out and do 10% of this next year. I don't think there's anything wrong with generating $140,000 worth of equity or income. And I'll also say that, yes, I get it. Like, some of you are probably saying, well, that doesn't include your holding costs and your, realtor's fees on the back end and stuff. I get it. Like, I do understand that. But take off 25% from this. It's not too shabby. I think we would all agree about that. So just think about what exists for you. Like, let me say this again. It's not to impress anybody. It's to impress upon you the possibilities that exist in our market right here and now if you go out and take action, if you equip yourself with the right skill sets. Because flipping a flood house is a skill set. Okay, we look at the real estate market. The real estate market is cyclical. So there's times in the market where it's ideal to buy rental properties. Example, 2008, 2009, 2010, when the market crashed. There's times in our market when it's ideal to flip houses, right, when the market's up, and that's a better time to flip. So there's times where in certain markets where things are ideal, and it's cyclical though. So good rental markets will go away, good flip markets will come away, will go away. But guess what else we have here in the Houston area and in other parts of the country? We have floods. And this, Harvey was a really bad flood, and we all know that. But it was not like, it's not a one-time thing. Kara did some research. How many floods and hurricanes have we had just in the last year in Houston? We've had 3. Okay, we've had 3. So those are opportunities. But I've talked to a lot of investors already that are scared to buy flood houses. And so I'm going to present some data and some, information that you can choose to, take hold of and move forward with, or you can reject it, whatever. I'll tell you what we're doing, and we're having some pretty good results, and we feel really good about the long-term results as well.